right now. I slept in because I am sore everywhere. It is like difficult to walk. Yesterday I was surprised by the weight gain, but then last night I started my period, so that kind of explains that since I was under my calories. So we'll see what today is. So today is 300.5, so same thing. I think I'm just retaining some water and stuff while I'm on my period, and then the numbers should go down when I'm done with my period. So I'm not too worried. I'm just going to keep eating my calories. So yeah, 300.5. It is 36 degrees outside, and I am here for my chiropractic appointment. I haven't done my hair yet today, but anyway, here's what I'm wearing. Alright, I gotta go in and get cracked. Time to get cracked. Wrong way. I just got done with chiropractic, and oh my gosh, do I feel so much better after that. My thighs are still ridiculously sore from yesterday, so don't get me wrong. I'm still sore from that, and my arms are a little sore, but my goodness, this chiropractic place is so good. It is like chiropractic with acupuncture, but it's dry needling, which for me, the dry needling is actually way more effective than the acupuncture ever was for me, as far as like longer time relief. And then they also have you do the sort of stretches that you would be doing if you were having PT, which I've had twice. And they have like the little ball or whatever that you put on all of your like tender spots, and you like lay on it so there's pressure on it. So yeah, all of that, and then they did the dry needling on my lower back and like my butt area, because that's where I hold a bunch of my tension, is in my butt. But had all that, and then they have this little table that they had me lay on, and it has like a dip in the middle where your spine is. And this thing comes up and just rolls. It just rolls over your back again and again and again. So I got to do that for like 10 minutes. So I'm walking out of there and I'm like, oh my gosh, like back pain relief, excellent. Excellent. So I'm excited. My hips were feeling a little bit better since last time I went there. And he has to like straighten out my legs, because they tend to have one will like I'm off kilter. So anyway, he did that, and then he pulled my ankle twice, and I think the swelling did go down a little bit after he adjusted it last time, so it should be even better for next time. The only thing that sucks is like, so my only insurance is the VA, so they're sticklers about approving things, and then even when they do approve stuff, the harder part is getting them to reapprove it, because you got to show enough progress, but not too much progress, because if you do too much progress, then they're like, oh, you're healed, and it's like, no. I need this thing, once we get the issues worked out, I need to do it for maintenance so that it doesn't get re-aggravated, because it's like a chronic thing. It's not going to go away. But the things that are making it worse can be fixed, but then you have to maintain the fix, or it just goes back to being crap. So anyway, I'm hoping that it will be renewed, but even when they renewed this one, they're like, oh, well, we're getting a new facility in the state across the border, which is Tennessee. They're like, oh, we're getting a new facility in Tennessee. There is like 5 cops over here in front of my little coffee hut that I go to, and 2 of them got their lights on, and I'm like, what are they doing? What in the world? There is a guy with a trailer on his truck, like a boat type thing. I don't know what is going on, but I'm nosy. So people still pulling in for coffee. What is that? I don't know what that was about, but interesting. Anyway, so yeah, when they approved this one, they're like, we're getting this facility in Tennessee, and so, you know, it's cheaper for them to do things through the VA than to do things through community care. So they're like, we probably won't reapprove it, and you'll have to go to this facility to get it, which sucks because they don't do as much as what I'm getting at this place. As far as I know. Not only that, but I'd have to drive like an hour to get there. And you're talking about, like, for this first part of it, like for several parts of it, it's 3 times a week. I do not have time on my schedule to do that. To fit in 2 hours of driving plus time for this stuff. No. So I'm hoping they reapprove it, because the plan that I'm on has like 20 sessions for them to do all the therapies and get everything good. And then, like, for convenience, I would pay $50 a month to go to this other chiropractic place that's like all over the state. And you can go and get adjusted as many times as you want during a month for like $50 or $70, something like that. So, like, I would do that for maintenance, but I would like for them to at least pay for me to complete the plan, because if not, then I'm going to have to pay $1,000 out of pocket within a short amount, within like a 1 month period. That's a lot of money. So I'm hoping that they approve the rest of the therapy, because this is just day 2 and it's doing wonders. Like today, I'm like, the pain is like whoosh. So I'm hoping that they reapprove it, but I don't have any control over it, so I'm not going to stress over it. I'm just going to enjoy the time that I have that's approved, and, you know, be happy for whatever progress there is, and then just cross my fingers and hope it goes well when I need the renewal. But I'm almost home, because this is how close I am to the chiropractic place. So this, compared to the hour drive, and in a city where I don't have other things to do other than visit, I can visit my in-laws, which is great, but I don't need to do that multiple times in a month. Like, you know, it's quite a drive. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and go when I get home, which is going to be in like 2 minutes. Then I will fix me something to eat, because I haven't had anything today other than water, and not much of that, because I got up, I only had a couple of minutes to get ready, and then I had to hurry up and get over here. So I don't know that I'm going to do a workout today. I really wanted to go do some wet miles today, and I was going to do a water aerobics class, but I don't even remember my alarm going off this morning. And then I got up and I took my pills, but it was already after the class would have started, and I was so sore. I was like, I can hardly roll over. Like, that's how sore I was. So I was like, yeah, today's going to be our rest day. It was going to be Sunday. That was going to be the day where we just, you know, lounged around the house and did nothing. But I think today's going to be the rest day instead. Now, with the pain relief that I was just given, that might change, and it might be like the afternoon, and I'll get bored, and I'll be like, I need to go do something, and then I can go to the gym. But I'm also thinking about maybe going and getting my nails done, because I do have that, I have that gift certificate that I won, and I haven't had my nails done in like over a year, and my feet are looking bad. Like, my feet are so dry, and so I would love to have a pedicure. That would be amazing. So I might do that, and then the swing set might be assembled by now, so I could see the kids use it, because I haven't seen that yet. So I would like to go see that. So that would be worth the drive if they've got the swing set up, because it's also in a different state where they're at, so I have to drive across the border. But anyway, I am now home. You just joined me for the entire ride home. 8 minutes, 29 seconds. 27 seconds. Anyway. Alright. Time to eat. I'm hungry. Hungry. It's 1 o'clock, and here is my lunch. I didn't eat breakfast, so brunch, I guess. This is how we're breaking my fast. So, first meal of the day, do you always call it breakfast? Anyway, I've got my gluten-free taco here. It's just meat and cheese only, and I used the lean beef. And then I have some of my gluten-free white cheddar Cheetos. I haven't had those in a couple days, so I just wanted some. And then I made me a very low-calorie coffee. This only has 15 calories, and that is just from the whipped cream that I put in it. I do go ahead and log it, and it says 9 calories for the coffee, but it's not. I've looked it up online. The light roast is 0 calories, but when I scan it, it puts it in as the medium roast, so whatever. And then I went ahead and put out my ADHD pill so that I would remember to take it after this. I don't take it before the hot coffee or before a workout because it could elevate my heart rate, and I don't want to do that. So I just wait. So I put it there, and I set a daily reminder on my Alexa. If you do have ADHD, Alexa is a really great tool to set all of your alarms. You don't have to like do the action of picking up your phone and setting one and then remembering which ones you need, which ones you don't. You just have Alexa do it for you. It's something that my therapist recommended that I get an Alexa, and it definitely has made a huge change. So I really enjoy having it. Unicorn tears is my mug. It did have a unicorn horn, but it like came off. So anyway, that is what I am eating. So this is like 640 something calories, and I think it's 35 grams of protein. So that is how we're going to start my day. I started making this clip 30 minutes ago and then just kept talking and talking and talking. I was like, no one is going to sit here and listen to me ramble about all this different stuff that does not really mean much in the grand scheme. Like stuff that should be dedicated to like an individual topical video instead of a daily vlog. So I'm not going to do all that, but it is 3:47, and I will say that I was starting to feel really hungry. And I was like, I don't think it's been that long since I ate. So I looked on the Microfactor app, which is the one that I'm using, and I was like, okay, so I ate at like 1 o'clock. It's only been 2.5 hours. I had a huge taco, a coffee, and a thing of Cheetos. Logically, I should not be hungry right now. And then I noticed my mouth is dry. So I was like, duh, I need water. Like my body is giving me the signal that I need something, and I was just interpreting it as I need food, but it was really I need water. So I'm going to be drinking this. I did take my ADHD pill, which is great because yesterday I did not take it. I'm having to start on the lower dose because when I started on my full dose a while back, I had been forgetting to take it and just didn't take it for like over a month. So it had like already left my system. And so then the full dose was a shock to my system, and I got heart palpitations for like 3 days. It was horrible. It was like constant heart palpitations, and I'd had caffeine that day, not thinking about it because it was a Lotus tea and not a soda. Don't do that. Don't mix high caffeine with ADHD meds. It is not a good combo. Or energy drinks. Just don't drink energy drinks on those. But anyway, so I'm starting with a lower dosage, and to me it seems like it's about 2 hours after I take it, then my brain is like, okay, we're ready to go. So I am feeling very physically drained right now, and after talking like 30 minutes on video and then winding up deleting those clips because it was like off the trails, raining and stuff, I'm starting to get a lot of mental exhaustion, like I'm socially tapped, even though I'm just in front of the camera. And the only people I've socialized with today, well, I guess I have done a lot of socializing today because I did the chiropractor, so that was in person, and then I talked to my mom, and then I talked to my mother-in-law, and then I talked to my sister-in-law. I guess I am socially drained. I have a very small window, y'all. But anyway, I don't know why I'm holding this still. That was when I was making a different clip. So I am going to watch the 2 videos that I have up. One I had started before I got called, so I'm going to finish listening to it. And I'm going to finish the game I'm playing. I don't have that long left on it. And I'm going to watch Annie's comeback video for vlog day 3. I don't I don't know that I watched vlog day 2. So if I didn't, I'll watch vlog 2 and 3 and catch up on those. Y'all let me know, because I do watch a lot of reaction videos. Would you like a reaction from me on Annie's comeback? Because we're coming from the same place. Like, she started documenting hers before me. So she's already lost like 20 pounds, so she's ahead of me in that regard. But we're like 10 pounds different body weight, and I think we're around the same height. I would love to become like friends with her, just because it would be nice to have someone like on the same journey. I don't have kids, so our lives are very different. So that does make a difference. But anyway, yeah, let me know if you'd like quick reaction. It would just be like, this is what tips she gave, this is how I feel about that sort of thing, not an actual like, let me put her video on the screen and comment on it. But yeah, let me know if you want like a reaction to that, because I think that could be interesting, because I'm watching them anyway. So yeah, that's one thing. But anyway, before I started recording this, I was in the mental state of like, oh, ADHD meds kicked in. I am ready to be productive, but like in a mental productive, not a physical productive. So like, they're not making me want to go do my dishes right now. But they are making me want to get out my planner that I want to use for next year and putting all the dates in it and adding everyone's birthday to it. It's making me want to do those sort of tasks. And then I am still a PA for one person. I stopped PAing for all the other authors because it was creating stress to me, because I was just very stressed out. So I'm only doing it for one person. So I need to make her Facebook post for the month. So because I'm already like 4 days behind. So I missed Tuesdays and Thursdays. Well, Thursday I'm not late. So I've only missed one post so far. I can make that up. But I'll just post one on Saturday this week too. But anyway, so I need to do that task. But yeah, I'm in like the mental get stuff done. But I'm physically feeling overwhelmed from talking. So I need that short break. And then I am going to pick out a record. I did get lots of records recently. Me and my husband went together and got a bunch. They're mostly for me. I haven't showed them here yet. I did show my full record collection. I think it was in September. So y'all have seen those. But since then, I've gotten 2 records in the mail, which I mentioned, which was the new Sabrina Carpenter one and the new Taylor Swift album. But I've since bought a bunch of albums. Like, the albums are also my Christmas present from my husband, because it was a big expense. So I was like, this can be my Christmas present. I kind of transferred from buying books. See, because it was like, what do you do to get quick dopamine? To me, it's like, be bad in a way, like be irresponsible in a way. So like, eat something irresponsibly or buy something irresponsibly. And I don't live in the city now, so I'm not going on any shopping sprees. I also don't have a bunch of fast food around me, and I'm eating healthier, so I'm not stopping at fast food places. Y'all have seen me in these 3 weeks go to several restaurants. That is not a norm. And most of those have been free meals, or they have been meals that were attached to meetings that I was attending. So anyway, and then the other thing is I used to buy a lot of books. Like, I would have like 20 new books a month. Ridiculous. So I stopped spending money in that way. So then I started spending it on records. So that's one of my goals for January, is to start being as financially responsible as I am being responsible with my health, and like making it a point to like see how much I'm eating, how much I'm exercising, those sort of things, and making improvements along the way. And also doing that with the finances, like how much is actually coming in, what's going out, what is a need, what is not a need, like where can we cut, what kind of goals do we want to have that we're working towards, so that we can stay on track, having those, ahead to be like, okay, I want to take a trip to Japan. How are we going to do that? We got to save money. How are we going to save money? We're going to cut expenses and, not have impulse buying on things that you don't need. So that's kind of where I'm at. But anyway, So my plan is to relax my brain for a minute because I need it. I might even need to put on some ASMR or something. It actually works on me. I get the head tingles, and it is like being given. They've actually done studies on this. For some people, if you're responsive to ASMR, it can be the equivalent of having like a low dose of anesthesia, like the anesthesia that you would get like at the dentist office, where they put the thing on your nose and it's like you're still awake, you're not put under, but like you're having no pain. Um, I get that with ASMR videos, and as someone with chronic pain, it's excellent. Now, if you rely on it every day, then it's harder for your brain to do the thing that it needs to do to fully relax you. So I haven't watched ASMR in a while. Beforehand, I was like multiple times a day, I would need it. But anyway, so after I do all that, I'm going to pick out an album, and I've got several new albums here that I need to listen to, make sure they all work. And then hopefully my brain space will be good, and I was looking for this book yesterday and couldn't find it. It's right here. And I'll try to do some of those like mentally engaging tasks. So this is one of the books that I bought recently. It's called A Heart for Christmas. It is an Advent romance. So each day you read one chapter at a time leading up to Christmas. So talk about delayed gratification. You have to stop after one chapter and go. We're already on day 4, so that's good. I can actually like get to the inciting incident within the first 4 chapters probably, and then have to go one day at a time with this. Should I do a video just with this, talking about the end of each chapter, and y'all can like read it along with me if you want? I think that would be fun. But anyway, that is by Sophie Germain, A Heart for Christmas, if y'all want to do that. So I might try that today. But yeah, listen to a record, get some stuff done. And then have dinner at a reasonable time. So the OCD and like the hyperfocus. So I can get like obsessed into something, which is like the hyperfocus mode, but I just have the combination of like the hyperfocus from ADHD, but then I have like the fixation thing from the OCD too, which can make it incredibly hard to stop stuff once I get into it. And I get very irritable and tense, and it can be unhealthy. One of the reasons why I got a dog, so that he could interrupt my task when needed, and I'd like go outside and do something to like get out of it. So I might need that today. So I think I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to set me an alert. Hey Alexa, set reminder for 5 p.m.
Good afternoon, Heather. What's the reminder for?
Take a break.
Okay, I'll remind you at 5 p.m.
Okay. So you might be like, oh, it's a break because you're going to finish the YouTube things that you were listening to, and then that. But that's like over an hour away. So yeah, and it'll be around time for me to eat dinner because that will be 4 hours after I last ate. So yeah, I'm gonna do that because I'm seeing myself already getting too focused. Like this is a 12-minute clip of me rambling, but I don't want to set myself back by deleting this and then restarting and it being even longer of me talking and not getting to the point. So I'm gonna go do what I said I'm gonna do, and then I will, I guess, update y'all along the way. This clip might not even make it because it is a lot of talking. Okay, so it is 8 o'clock. I did drink a little water. It's actually almost 8:30. I put in on my like calendar stuff. I put in when I have scheduled things I have to be at for the rest of the year. So that was productive. But then I think it triggered some anxiety because I do have so much on my calendar, and it's like these are all things I've committed to, but then there's other things that I've been wanting to get back to, and seeing my schedule like mapped out, I think stressed me because it's like it feels like too much committing to each day. Which probably sounds like dramatic because I don't have like a 9 to 5. But yeah, I don't know. I was starting to feel boxed in, even though it's interesting because getting more involved and doing more things improved my anxiety levels because I'm like, I have a purpose, I'm doing something, I've got goals, but I haven't focused on my writing in over 6 months. I think the last month I took my writing seriously was probably February. So I went from like October to February, really hardcore and focused, and then it all shifted. Um, and now that the colder months are coming, I'm like, I want to write again. I want to write again. Some of this is probably because it is December, so the New Year's is coming, and I'm a big futuristic person, so like I like to plan things for the future and try to set myself up for success, but then the execution part is really hard, and also having a solid plan is hard because I can't predict life. So that's stressful. Uh, and so, yeah, I was just having anxiety and I think just kind of stressing myself out to where like even just watching a YouTube video was too much. And it was like 6:30, I think, when so I looked at the clock at 4:44. I think it was literally 4:44, and I was like, I had my alarm go off a little bit after that and tell me to take a break, and I was like, but I haven't been productive. I haven't done all the things. And then I looked down again, and and I was like, well, maybe I should get up and do dinner. But I was like, but I'm stressed. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. So then I went and I read the book, the Advent book, and that helped because it took my mind off of the outside world and expectations for myself and all that other kind of stuff. And I think I'm also stressed because I don't have the piano song down, and now there's like more people coming, and it's becoming this big thing, and I strive for perfection in certain areas, and so I think that's stressing me out because I'm not perfect yet. And it's like I want to be perfect. But anyway, so reading was really good, and the book was good, and it was interesting because it is chapter by chapter, so I would have to open each chapter one at a time and seeing like how the author, I'm getting to look at it from like an author lens of like, how are they pacing this book chapter to chapter? What kind of goals are they meeting? What kind of information are they delivering piece by piece? And thinking about my own writing and how I used to do things when I didn't know anything. Like I didn't know, like I just instinctually knew how to write stories, because like everyone takes in stories pretty much from the moment you're born, whether it's just from talking to people, you taking in their stories, or all the TV and movies you watch during your lifetime, or books that you read. So I've taken in like so many stories. So I naturally just kind of know how to structure one. But I, because I seek like perfection, I also try to distract the feeling of like not good enough with knowledge and learning more so that I can have a solid plan and follow it and it will go right because I have the plan. um, but yeah, I was getting stressed, but reading the book alleviated some of that, and it reminded me um, a little bit of the author coaching that I had had, where she was like, you've had this big shift where writing was something that you were striving for because it was something that you liked to do, that you were good at, and that had the possibility of making you money so that you would not have to do the thing that you could not do, which is the like 9 to 5 structured jobs just don't work for me. I have to have like purpose or I get super depressed. So like working a regular 9 to 5, no, because I'm fulfilling someone else's purpose, not my own. So like I have to work for myself. But even that can be stressful because I get too into the like how to make this succeed thing. And right now I'm in a position where it's like it doesn't have to succeed. So I need to focus on like the joy in it. But there are so many parts that are still hard, even if like no one wants to see it. I still have to make these decisions and follow through. And that's the hard part, is like making the decision and feeling that the decision is correct and then moving forward. Because it's like my brain will like paralyze me until I believe that the decision that I'm making is correct. And once I'm set on it, then I can like zoom through and do it. But yeah, making the decisions is hard. But so I was thinking back to the conversation, and she's like, now you're in a place where you don't have this like threat pushing you to do it. You just get to do it for the joy of it. So she's like, instead of pressuring yourself to jump right in and write and like commit to a series and all this other kind of stuff, maybe you just spend time thinking like, what are the stories that resonate with me? What do I like about them? What story ideas do I have? Which ones have like very common, like what's the commonality between the different stories? And then just kind of develop those. And then I was thinking about another person that's like an author coach. I haven't had one-on-one with this person, but they're like the organizer of the group. But she's talked about how when she does stories and how she fixes when she's stuck, or how she just figures out how she wants to even do the story, is she uses connections between characters. So she'll just write what she knows about a character, and then she'll start writing about other characters, and then she will create like a map of how each character connects to each other, and that will present storylines. And coming up with ideas is not hard for me. Connecting things, I'm really good at. I have like a pattern thing. Like my brain, so I was tested whenever I was diagnosed with ADHD, and they do like IQ tests and everything like that. And there's like different like areas of intelligence that they test. And one of the ones where I was like off the charts genius level had to do with something with patterns. And that makes sense in my mind, the way that I can connect things that wouldn't connect, like no one else would connect those things. I can find a way to connect them. So it works with my stories. How that kind of translated when it comes to like regular studies is like, there was a time when my friend's mom was studying to get a GED. I had not had any algebra classes at all, because I think I was in like 8th grade at the time. I hadn't had any algebra classes, none of that. And so I just looked at the multiple choice questions for the math stuff that she was doing. And it was like algebra 1, algebra 2, that sort of thing. And I got like 8 out of 10 right by guessing. Because I was like, this doesn't make sense, because this, even though I didn't know any of the equations. Similar thing happened in college. There was some like mathematical theory or something that some dude came up with, and in like, I don't know if it was the 1800s or if it was before that, but she was like, all right, everyone, come up here on the board and write down all the different formulas that you could do to figure out like this side of the triangle or something. And so everyone wrote stuff down, and then I wrote one down, and it was like, most people's was like smaller steps, mine was more complex. And then I erased it, because when I went back to my seat and I like was trying to check my formula, it didn't pan out, so I erased it because I thought it was wrong. And then the professor was like, who had one up there earlier and erased it? And then I was like, it was me, but I checked it and it was wrong. And she was like, what did you put? And I told her what I had put. And she was like, no, that's right. And I was like, okay. And then she was like, what did you check it with? And I told her I had read the problem wrong when I was writing it down to check it. So it was right. And she was like, yeah, this one was invented by so and so. And I came up with this thing in 30 seconds by looking at it. And none of the other students had came up with it. So it's like, but it's like an intuitive thing where there's not necessarily an explanation for knowing. You just figure it out, and you know this thing without any reason. It's just like how your brain works, and you're like, I can deduct this. It's like, how did anybody know how to transmit sounds across areas? Like, that still amazes me, like how cell phones and stuff work. It just sounds like magic. Like, how do you transmit information through air? That sounds magical. And it's like, but there is a part of my brain that's able to like create that kind of magic, that thing out of thin air, where it's like, it doesn't make sense until you present it, and then it's like, oh, this checks out. This does make sense. So anyway, I'm like, okay, maybe I need to just focus on that, like the strength of the connecting the patterns and all that kind of stuff. And instead of necessarily like committing to a specific story or a specific like career plan or timeline or any of that, just have fun ideating and like coming up with connections. And then that will build on itself and present itself in actual stories that I can organize and then get down on paper. So that's kind of where I'm at. But yeah, my stress was high. I did not go and eat a bunch of food to soothe that. Because normally I would try to drown out that like emotion by mindlessly watching something, even though watching things was stressing me out, because I was like, I'm not relaxing, or eating something to distract myself, and I did neither of those. I just went and I laid in the bed and I read a book. And I did stop because it was the Advent book, so I only read the 4 days that I was supposed to read. And then I got up and I came in here and I was like, okay, it's 8:30 now, so I haven't eaten since 1. So it's been like 7 hours since I've ate anything. The other thing that could have spiked my anxiety a little bit was that I started back my ADHD medication today. And it also suppresses my appetite. So like my stomach's been growling a bit, but I've just ignored it. But I do need to go take care of my body, and that means fixing me some food, even though I don't have an appetite right now. I just want to like numb out in other ways. But I'm going to go eat because my body needs food. I'm just going to keep it as simple as possible. I have enough meat for 1 taco left. So I'm just gonna make the 1 taco and watch a show, and then maybe I'll try to do some of that ideation stuff and write ideas and things that I know about different characters that I've started writing, and refigure out their stories and kind of start fresh. And then I'll probably, like, 1 taco is not enough, but right now that's all I can do. Once I eat it and maybe watch a show, I'll feel better, like, mentally, and then I'll be like, okay, let's figure out where our calories and protein and all that is and get some more nutrition in, because I think I've only had 600 calories today, and I need more. But I've also got really cold, like, my hands are really cold. I think that being cold, like temperature cold, also just makes me depressed. So I went and I got a coat to put on. It's like a house coat that goes down past my knees, even though I'm 5'10", so like that's impressive. But yeah, I'm gonna go make me a taco, and then I'm gonna watch a show, one that's not a thriller. Well, that's not so. I'm gonna watch A Small Town Show because that's what the book was making me think of, and that's where one of the stories that I'd been writing a couple of winters ago is kind of coming back to me, and I think that that's the one that I want to work on, um, because it is cold in December, and that's kind of like how the book is set in like a cold environment, so I could dig into that while I'm actually cold. I think I might need to, the books that I write need to be the same season that I'm writing in. I think I'm driven that way. But yeah, I'm gonna go get my taco. Here's my taco, and I'm gonna watch Sullivan's Crossing.